Ah, the Star Wars saga, a sweeping tale of epic proportions with a galaxy so far and so wide and deep and tall, it's big, friend, it's big, that it's exploding at the seams with grand moments that entertain, affect, and inspire us all. And yet, it's those little moments that spring up and surprise us that seem to be the building blocks of everyone's love of Star Wars. I'm Ken Napzok for ForceCenter, and this is why I love when BAIL Organa told Leia, Princess of Alderaan, that they would change things together. I mean, look, I'd love to show you the footage, but Bob Chapek might be watching, and that's dangerous ground. He might kick me out of the next investor call, and where would my clout go? So, photos and screenshots it is, kids. But yeah, this is the moment I love. Leia stands with her mother and father, new holster on her hip, and while accepting her true self as a member of the Organa family and Princess of Alderaan, she proclaims, "But if I'm going to do this, I'm going to want to change a few things." BAIL, with no hesitation, mind you, leans towards his daughter and says that let's change things together. It's so small, a quick beat in a 6-episode saga that delved deep into the souls of some of Star Wars' biggest characters. But BAIL's words, his support for Leia's proclamation, and the power of the next generation were both moving in terms of the Star Wars story and an important statement on the cycles of change in our very own lives. But let's go back a bit. Like many, I thoroughly enjoyed Obi-Wan's journey, our collective journey with 10-year-old Leia Organa, known far and wide, of course, as Little Leia. Princess Leia's legacy in Star Wars was already cemented. She is the heart of the rebellion story in the original trilogy and the matriarch of the resistance in the sequel era, strong in the face of great loss, a passionate leader and a loyal friend, whip-smart, steadfast, and a pillar of all the things that light up this dark galaxy. We've all spent a lifetime with Leia, so it would be easy to overlook the value of going back to the beginning of her story. At least so far. I am open to a Leia the First Grade Year Disney Plus show if they want to do it. Leia didn't just go through a harrowing adventure with her new pal Ben Kenobi. She was faced with an important task from her mother, Queen Breha Organa. Decide what you want to do with your position of power, leadership, and privilege. And one from Senator BAIL Organa when he said to her, "One day this planet will look to you, Leia. There are many ways to lead. You just have to find yours." Leia is a princess, on the track to being a senator, but she doesn't want to be. Yeah, she wants to be a wild and free kid, roaming around the beautiful forest of Alderaan, climbing trees with her trusty droid Lola, and looking to the skies as she imagines the wonderful adventures that can be had out far beyond her current, small, constrained world. But beyond that, she doesn't even see the importance of her role. She doesn't see the need, the purpose, or even the potential. And of course, she's 10. When I was 10, I was pretending to fly spaceships into battle like the brother she doesn't yet know she has. Pew, pew, pew club right here. When we meet her in Obi-Wan Kenobi, we actually don't. She's arranged for a palace chum to stand in for her. It's not just a fun prank on mom. It's a statement on her view of being a princess. Boring pomp, needless circumstance, and a whole bunch of waving. So, Breha Organa says, then do more than wave. You get out of this what you put into it. I mean, Hold on. I love that moment too. Should I just do this video in that exchange? Maybe. It's so good. And shout out to Simone Kessel for her work as Breha. More Breha, please. More Breha. Anyway, that's the true start of Leia's journey in the show. From there, she flashes her smarts and quick wit, absolutely burns a little brat of a cousin worse than a Mustafar pool party, and is faced with one of her biggest obstacles, the idea that she is not a real Organa. She starts this journey feeling the loss of not knowing who her real parents are. Forget being a princess. She wonders if she has a true family at all. We know the rest. Kidnapped, imprisoned, interrogated, then freed, whisked to safety and part of the fight with the protectors of the path on Jabeam. There is a lot there, and many insightful and important Leia beats to digest and analyze, but I'm forcing myself to move on. I should move on, right? I mean, I want to talk about it. No, I should move on. Alex Damon of Star Wars Explained says I should move on.
Ken, move on.
Okay, moving on. Generational change is one of the most significant Star Wars building blocks. It has been there from the very beginning with A New Hope. But if you just so happen to be from another Star Wars generation and have a different entry point into the franchise, it's the same for you. From young Anakin to Ahsoka to Ezra to Rey and beyond, Star Wars always has the next generation at its center. And again, looking at A New Hope, we all connected with Luke Skywalker when his grumpy uncle kept him on his moisture farm on the planet that, according to Luke, is far, far away from the exciting, hopping center of the galaxy. Though clearly somebody hasn't gotten drunk in Mos Pelgo yet. You'll get there, Luke. You'll get there. Luke is dreaming of getting out of there, leaving his hometown and starting his life, and he will. In fact, he already has begun his journey. He just doesn't know it. I believe Star Wars is very much about the hope of tomorrow being present today, and your journey has already begun. And that's comforting. But that's a short journey if the generations in front of you don't want you to move forward. The dark side in Star Wars storytelling is always steeped in the stink of refusing to change, let go, or give up any power they have taken. Grand Moff Tarkin doesn't much care for those rebel rousers with new thoughts and ideas on not being oppressed. Darth Vader sure needs his power, despite it never getting him what he wants. And the dark wizard at the center of it all, the ultimate evil in the galaxy, Darth Sidious himself, Sheev Palpatine, so refuses to accept change or to give way to the next generation that, like so many Sith before him, he clings to his life, clutches onto his power, and in the end tries to possess the very body and soul of the last in his family line, the girl from nowhere who stepped into the very legendary adventure she'd only heard whispers about. And when she refused to give in to hate and fall for Palpy's plan, he took the very power of the new generation before him to rebuild himself, to maintain and perhaps increase his power. Nice outfit, Sheev. But thankfully for every Palpatine, there are more of the old generation that understand the purpose of that generational shift. They get the need. And Luke's twin son daydream moment doesn't have to end there thanks to an old Jedi Knight that understands that this is not his fight anymore. Just as Luke and Leia will later help move the generations after them into the pilot seats of the next big fight. Generational change. It's one thing for the new heroes to say, I want to make a difference, I want to lead. It's another thing for the people in front of them, the ones so often with the power to lean down, smile, and give all of their support to those coming up behind them. And when we next see that brave, precocious, show-stealing little Leia on Alderaan, she is dressing herself like the princess she already was, but adorns her look with the gloves she now wants, perhaps to climb taller trees with even more ease, and fastened firmly on her hip is the holster of Tala, a woman who Leia saw use her place and life in this galaxy to help others. She wants to be there. She wants to lead, and Leia has ideas on how she wants to do that. The next generation is ready, and she is met with the unbridled encouragement from her mother, who loves the holster alteration to the ensemble, and then her father, a man who has spent most of his political life trying to move the galaxy forward in the best ways possible while running up against the increasingly powerful, oppressive, and deadly opposing forces of the old guard. Then let's change things together. A powerful reminder from Star Wars that the most important part of the journey is what we all do with the next step, and that sooner or later we all have to look across a dramatically changing landscape and figure out the best way forward, together. Star Wars teaches us that our steps should aim toward hope, be filled with empathy, and be full of light and life. And one day we will all be given the opportunity to help others step out ahead of us. And if you have a little Leia in your life, be like Brea. Be like Bail. Change things together.